Well, hello everybody. Here I am with another video. I don't know about you, but when you're out cutting with a chainsaw and you've got extra chainsaw blades, they if you don't have a place to put them, they kind of get tangled. They kind of get all in a knot, or they hang on stuff inside your chainsaw caddy or chainsaw box or whatever you've got it in. So what I decided to do was make something that would actually hold all these chains that I've sharpened. Then I can actually take out one that I need when one goes dull. I can just pull this open and get another one out. So what I'm doing here is I'm drilling a hole for a PVC, another piece of PVC. This is all used PVC I had laying around here, that 1 inch, I think it's a 1 inch PVC that I'm going to be using right there, and you can see it'll slide right in there, using a Fastener bit to cut that hole. What I'll do is I'll cut the this PVC off. It's because, you know, obviously don't need it that long. I'll be cutting it off just so that it reaches outside of that big 2.5 inch or 3 inch piece of PVC, and putting caps on it so that it doesn't slide out. Here I'm making a straight line across just to make sure that what I'm going to be using, cutting off here and here, and I'll cut it back about a few inches or so, and you see there's a quick and easy way to make a straight line on a piece of PVC right there. Then what I'll do is you'll be able to rotate it, slide it up a cut section that I'll cut off in that bigger piece of PVC, kind of like a key. You'll see me actually cut straight across right here. What I'm going to use for a cap is these elbows. Since I have it, I don't have to go buy anything, and I'll just glue those onto the ends and it won't be able to slide off. What I'm doing here is taking a piece of cut off PVC that you see there, and trying to get my distance from side to side, because I'm going to cut half of this piece of 1 inch pipe, cut it completely off, so it's like a keyway. It's like a you'll see, I'll call it a keyway. That's the only way I can figure out calling it. And then you see the hole that I drilled with Fastener bit. I will be cutting that from the midpoint of that hole to the end of the pipe and cutting that section off. So here I'm just making sure I cut the diagonal, because the diagonal is important because your pipe is round and not square. So when you cut when you slide it down on, you're going to have to account for that, the diagonal of the circumference of the pipe. So what I'm doing here is using, hey, if you ever get a chance to get an old file from a farrier, boy, that's the best thing to be grinding away on PVC. Sometimes those files, they can't use them for horse hooves anymore, and they just get rid of them. Well, this is what I've done. I've grabbed, my daughter's does a lot of farrier work, and that is what she was going to get rid of that, and I got it from her, and it works perfect for PVC and also for grinding away wood. But you can see that slides right in there now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out the center of this hole that I cut with a Fastener bit, and I'll cut that straight up. I'll do that on both sides and make sure that these holes are in plane with each other, because you don't want to cut on one side and then cut on the other, because then it won't line up right. So if you can get it in the vice clamp here, then what that does is that you can rotate it and it won't slide out or fall off. And that's what this is. You can see how that I've cut that there. So now I'm going to check it out and make sure that it actually slides in. You can see that I'm checking it against the actual PVC here. What I need to do now is I need to cut straight across, and I will cut a slit on both sides of this PVC so that the 1 inch can, when it's when it slides down, you can rotate it and it'll be locked in. So here we go, cutting that PVC down. This project only took me, I'd say maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I think, in total. Because I needed to get out and cut some trees that fell, and cut some branches of some dead trees that are standing. I need to get down. There's about 21 of them here, and they're dangerous. Widowmakers, I guess you'd call them. Not real sure. But here I'll go ahead with a saw, hand saw, and just cut straight down the PVC. It's real easy. You guys, you can do this in a heartbeat. I mean, if you do a lot of chainsawing, it is well worth making one of these. Now that I've used it for a while, it is phenomenal. See the two pieces that I cut out, and now I'll just clean everything up, and now you'll see the slot, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And what I'll do is I'll make sure there's no burrs on either end of the either side of the PVCs. You'll see how that slid down in there. Then you can cut this right off here. Make sure there's enough to glue on both sides, and think smarter, not harder. So I'll cut it off here. Yeah, and by the way, this is the way the up and down is the way they cut in Haiti, believe it or not. When they're cutting wood and everything, they cut it backwards compared to what I'm used to here in the US. But now I'll clean it off the burrs so that everything will fit. Put my elbows on that are pretty tight, and make sure that they're on there snug. And I want to make sure I don't cover up those grooves that I made in that 1-inch pipe. So now you can see it slides in and rotates, and when it rotates, it locks in. And that's how I've done it. And this is where I put the chain in. It slides right down inside the tube. I rotate it, lock it, and there we go. She's good to go.